Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha, Kodash, and double honor to my teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule and teach well, who I learned this truth from, and peace and salutations to the elect that scattered across the four corners of the planet Earth, pushing this truth and sincerity and meekness without wavering, as well as risking a life freedom to do so. This is your brother ICR from the GMS Cleveland Church, and I'm back with another lesson, and Lord willing, it is edifying to one of the Lord's elect. Alright, and this lesson is going to be focused around, the flesh, man. Alright, this, and we know about the flesh, man, but this is the condition that we are the hopeful elect will be in. Okay, the flesh is going to war against the spirit, as Paul said, man. It's going to be a constant battle between the flesh and the spirit before our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai returns, man. And this is a battle that is, that brothers battle with, man. All right, I'm gonna just be, raw with it. Brothers do battle it, man. Okay, when you come into this truth, right? The Lord said, prepare your soul for temptation. There's a lot of temptation when you come to serve the Lord, man. All right, and we know that the flesh loves to please itself, man. Okay, and sometimes, the flesh does get the battle, man. Brothers have given accounts to where, the spirit was telling them, the flesh to stop, but you get to those moments where the flesh it just happens, bro. You see, and this is why we need to get delivered, man, because the flesh will cause us to go off, man. All right, the flesh continues and will continue to grow stronger to cause us go off, but it's up to us to counter it with the spirit, like the beloved brother Kazak Rakah says, man. He said, hey, don't let the flesh win all the time, man. You got to put up a fight. All right. And this is, and I'm just forewarning you what's to come when you serve the Lord, man. You're going to be warned with temptation until the Lord comes back. Okay. But the Lord gave us the blueprint. He gave us the book. He gave us instructions on what to do when the flesh, to keep the flesh in subjection. Okay. I'm going to just read a couple scriptures, man. All right. Because I'm going to just keep speaking on the flesh, man. Okay, because this is how you know if you're in the flesh or not. Okay, if you're in the spirit or if you're in the flesh. Okay, the flesh will make you stiff-necked and rebellious to your own ways. Okay, thinking, not to your own ways, but to counsel. Brothers continuously telling you, you're going off, but you're fully set in your mind. Okay, and I'm speaking to myself because I'd have been in that situation. I'm fully set in my mind, I'm not going off. But then, slowly but surely, okay, after many accounts of being warned, okay, the flesh tells you, well, not the flesh, but the Lord brings judgment, man. I've been in that situation where, I was facing, I'm not even going to speak on what I was facing, but I was facing something that could have been avoided, okay, if I just applied the scriptures, man. Okay? But you get into that mode where once you get to pleasing the flesh so much, okay, it's hard for you to get out of it. Okay, the flesh tells you to start reading. Okay, the flesh tells you stop watching videos. The flesh tells you go do folly. Okay, go go deal with this harlot today. Deal with another one a couple hours later, or tomorrow. Okay, go buy this bottle. See, that's what the flesh tells you to do, and it's up for us to discern how and when to fight back. Okay, the apostles tell us to be stoics, man. A stoic is somebody who's real disciplined, who's who has a daily routine, if you might say, and he sticks to it. Okay, and this is what we need in these end times. We need more discipline. Okay, and we have to pray for those things, man. Okay, but I'm gonna grab a preset real quick. This is the book of the internet. This is the book of Psalms. Well, not Psalms, but the book of Sirach 23 and verse 4. It says, "O Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Father and power of my life, give me not a proud look, but turn away from thy servants always a haughty mind." Right, a haughty mind. Okay, a haughty mind means proud. Okay, can't not being able to be told anything. Okay, you can't tell me shit. Okay, sometimes we do get in those moments, man. But what is it? It's the flesh. Okay, it's the flesh. Okay, it says, "Turn away from me vain hopes." Right, trusting in this society. Okay, this lifestyle that we live, man. Okay, turn away from that, man. Okay, we asking the Lord to do these things because the flesh. Okay, we need to pray for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua to keep us from this flesh, man. All right. It says, "Turn away from me vain hopes and concupiscence." Okay, and I'm gonna look that word up too. It says, "And thou shalt hold him up that is desirous always to serve thee." And I'm also gonna get it in the GNT. Okay. So this is the book of Sirach in the GNT. Hold on one second. Alright. Come on. I'm doing it on my work phone. I'm not sure how to use this phone. Alright, so the GNT. Give me a second. Sirach. Let's just type in Sirach and see if it pops up. Okay, it does. Call lawyer. Let's go to the book of Sirach. How does it not have it? Come on now. This is why I don't deal with these other translations, man. All right, but I'm gonna keep reading. This is Sirach 23 and verse 6. It says, "Let not the greediness," right? The greediness of the belly is the mind. Okay, the Lord said He will search out the inward parts of His belly in the book of Proverbs. Okay, it says, "Let not the greediness of the belly, nor the lust of the flesh take hold of me, and give not over me thy servant and into an impudent mind," man. All right, to an impudent mind. So let's look up some of these words, man. Okay, let's go to the etymology online. Etym online. We're gonna look up the word concupiscence. All right. This is the word concupiscence, and the etymology online says ardent desire. Ardent meaning what? Let's look this word up. Ardent means enthusiastic or passionate, burning desire. That's what concupiscence means. Improper or illicit desire, it says lustful feeling. So it says Sirach 23 and 5, "Turn away from me vain hopes and concupiscence." Right, because that burning desire, man, it's a real thing, man. Paul said it in 1 Corinthians the 7th chapter, I believe. If you burn and let them marry, meaning get a wife, man. All right, because sometimes, I ain't even gonna say sometimes, the Israelite man is deprived here. If you understand the history and the heritage of the Israelite man, they had multiple wives, man. Okay, they didn't go without. But in the society that Esau has created, he forces you to be without, okay, and deprived, to the point where you gotta do certain things to please the flesh, man. All right, and we supposed to pray to the Lord to keep us from temptation, man. All right, yeah, it might be pleasing to the flesh, but at the end of it, there is something called post-nut clarity, man. Okay, post-nut clarity is real. After you get your shit off, your mind becomes more clear, and you be like, damn, I just wasted my energy, man. Cause that's what you're doing. You're wasting your energy, okay, every time you please the flesh, man. But it says, Sirach 23:5, turn away from me vain hopes and concupiscence, and thou shalt hold him up that is desirous always to serve thee. Verse 6, let not the greediness of the belly nor the lust of the flesh take hold of me. And because the flesh can take hold of you, man. Who has control over the flesh? Satan, man. Okay, the spiritual demon Satan has power over the flesh. Okay, so Yahweh Shah gave us power of the spirit. Okay, so what are we supposed to use to fight Satan? The spirit, which is the book. Okay, the words in the book. You know, when you feel your flesh creeping up, wanting you to please it, hey, and you know you've been pleasing it too much, go read. Okay, go to the gym, do something productive. The main times why we, please the flesh so much is because we're not being productive, we're not being active, we're not in the spirit, man. We have to be in the spirit more. And I'm speaking to myself, man. All right. It says, let not the greediness of the belly, nor the lust of the flesh take hold of me, and give not over thy servant to an impudent mind, man. An impudent mind. So let's look up what impudent means. All right. The word impudent. It says without shame, shameless, right? So you're not ashamed, man. Okay. You think your shit don't stink, man. All right. I've been in that spirit, man. You can't tell me nothing. Okay. You see what I'm saying? That's not the spirit, man. That's a spirit of rebellion. Okay. And it's also, the Lord uses Satan to try you. Okay. Because Satan he's the tempter. Okay, as it says in the gospel. He departed for a season, meaning a period of time. That's what Satan does. Okay, he comes back every now and then to see if he can try you. Okay, but if he's constantly trying you every day, it's because I speak as a man. Okay, but this is what happens to me. If he's trying my flesh all the time, it's because I'm pleasing the flesh, man. Okay, I'm not in the spirit. Okay, but I do want to go back and try to find this translation in GNT, man. I have to find this. Okay. This is the book of Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus. Right here it goes. 23. Verse 4. I'm gonna read 4 through 6. In the GNT it says, O Lord, my Father and power of my life, keep me from being arrogant. Protect me from evil desires, man. It says, keep me from being overcome by greed or lust. Do not leave me at the mercy of these shameless passions, man. Right, man. So this is a good prayer to ask Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah to keep you from, man. All right? Because, everything that glitters isn't gold, man. Okay, just because a woman look good don't mean she's good for you. Okay? Just because she's pleasing to the eye, the lust of the eyes and of the flesh and all these things, guess what? What did he also say? What did John the Revelator also say? He said, these things shall pass away, man. Okay? Meaning the ways of this world is going to pass away. Why? Because it's quick. Okay? You don't really get to enjoy it, man. Okay? Give me 1 second. What the fuck going on? Keisha out here bugging. But I'm gonna go to Sirach 18 now, and I'm gonna start at verse 30. This is the book of Sirach. Okay. Chapter 18. And verse 30. In the GNT. It says, and it also says self-control. Right? Paul told us to be temperate. Okay. Practice moderation. It's a demon playing music loud as shit. But this is Sirach 18 and 30. Don't be controlled by your lust. Keep your passions in check, man. Now the scriptures also say, don't defraud thyself of a good time. But if you're having a good time daily, okay, it's a balance to this thing, man. Okay, it's a balance to it, man. Okay. That's the fight. You have to understand how to balance, the flesh and the spirit. You want to really be in the spirit more than in the flesh. You see what I'm saying? You should be in the spirit more than you are in the flesh. Okay, because our flesh is going to get tried. It's going to continue to get tried. Like I said earlier, before the Lord comes back, these tests are going to increase. Okay, they're going to get even more heavier, man. These spirits are going to get even more heavier, attacking bros, man. All right, this is why it's good to pray, anoint yourselves, and read. Okay, be around brothers. Okay, and keep a tight-knit schedule, man. Okay, give Satan less time to fuck with you. Okay, but this is Sirach 18 and 30 in GNT. Don't be controlled by your lust. Keep your passions in check. If you allow yourself to satisfy your every need, you will be a joke to your enemies, man. Right? Don't indulge, because right, you're being a hypocrite. You practice, you say this, that, but you ain't practicing it, man. Okay? That's why they're gonna laugh at you. It says, don't make yourselves a beggar by borrowing for expense. That's it. That's pretty much it. But I'm gonna read this in it. That was in the GNT. And I'm gonna read it in the that's it. The GNT. I like the GNT, man. But that's pretty much it, man. Okay, try to keep your flesh in subjection, man. All right, that's what this whole race is about. Let's grab that, and then we'll close out with that. All right, because this is what Paul wrote to the Israelites in Corinth. Because if you know about the Israelites in Corinth, what were they doing? They were pleasing the flesh. Corinth was a beautiful city. Okay, it was if I'm not mistaken, the economy, the life, the culture, the lifestyle was it was magnificent back in that place, man. Okay, so Paul seeing how it was so detrimental, the lifestyle that they were living, talking about the Israelites, that were in Corinth. He told them, hey, look, 1 Corinthians 9 in verse 24, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain. Okay, and I do want to see what this says in the GNT, so I might just switch over to that. Hold on one second. 1 Corinthians 9. I don't know why I keep pressing 7. Hold on. 1 Corinthians 9 and verse 25. It says, I'm going to start at 24. It says, surely you know that many runners take part in a race, but only one of them wins the prize. Run then in such a way as to win the prize. Every athlete in training submits to strict discipline. And we are disciples, man. That's where you get the word discipline from. Okay. It says, every athlete in training submits to strict discipline in order to be crowned with a wreath that will not last. But we do it for one that will last forever, man. Right. We're not doing this training for a temporary crown, man. We're doing this for an everlasting crown, man. Okay. So with that being said, how much more you got to fight harder than a actual athlete, okay? In this world, man, these athletes not fighting against the flesh, man. They're actually pleasing the flesh, bro. Okay, and this is why their achievements are not remembered. Okay, years down the line, when then you're able to overcome the flesh like Yahweh Shai did, your name is everlasting, man. All right. So this is what we want, man. Okay. It says 1 Corinthians 9:26. That is why I run straight for the finish line. Straight, man. He's not departing from his route. Okay. He's not stepping out of his lane. Okay. Yeah, sometimes you might cross another track runner's lane, but guess what? You get back into yours, and guess what? You keep it pushing. It says that is why I run straight for the finish line. That is why I'm like a boxer who does not waste his punches, man. Right. You ain't wasting, okay? It says, I harden my body with blows and bring it under complete control, man. Right, when you fight in the flesh, you bringing your body, you putting a beating on your when you're in the spirit, you putting a beating on the flesh, man. And the flesh doesn't like that, but it builds up the spirit. Okay? It says, to keep myself from being disqualified, having called others to the contest, right? Okay, because you don't want to, like he said, he be a castaway, if I'm not mistaken, man. Okay, which a castaway is somebody who you just toss to the side, man. Okay, after you out there teaching the truth, teaching the hopeful elect, the scriptures, okay, and that they should apply them, all right, to the best of their ability, because the scriptures say wisdom is going to meet us in every thought. That's not going to happen in this society, man, this kingdom, man. It's no way. Okay, this is why it's good to try it to the best of your ability, man. This is why it's good to once again be disciplined, man. Okay, be disciplined. Okay, but that's pretty much it. That was just something on my spirit. Lord willing, if this is edifying to one of the Lord's elect, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. And double honor to my teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace and salutations to the elect. Kwam Yashar Allah Shalom Wa Abba Babal.